All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, who the world calls Christ. It's your brother Yaiquad, HOIGA, back at you with another quick chop, letting you know what's going on today in captivity. And as we know, we had the first person administered the COVID-19 vaccine over in Europe somewhere, a 90-year-old lady, and she just got her first dose. And this thing is going to go worldwide, which we already knew was coming. You know, what happens in overseas in Europe and things of that nature always trickles down to America next. All right. So we're just going to take a closer look at what's going on here locally in Georgia. OK, a closer look at how COVID-19 vaccines will be distributed, stored in Georgia. Now, this article is dated December 9th, which is barely a couple days ago. So we're going to dive into it just a smidgen. The first doses of vaccines could be distributed within the next 10 days. So as we just read, the vaccine is already here and it could be administered as early as next week. But vaccine distribution plans have been in the works for several months. We're going to talk about that roughly, but they already had a plan in place. They already knew how they're going to do it, when they're going to do it, so on and so forth. All right. The governor and state health director, Dr. Kathleen Toomey, laid out how they'll get the vaccine to the public this month. Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are expected to get emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration on Thursday. So we got to look at that, right? We got two companies, two different patents, two different ingredients for the same virus, and both of them are going to be administered. So they don't know which one is going to work. They don't know the side effects of either one. They're just getting emergency approval to roll this thing out, and it's already started, right? And it's coming here, right here in Georgia, as early as next week. A little bit more. We will have a limited number of vaccines that will be distributed within Georgia in the next week to 10 days, Kemp said. There will be several 100,000 doses at the beginning, with more expected later. Georgia nursing home residents and healthcare workers will be the first to receive the vaccine. So the essential personnel and your seniors at the retirement homes, they're going to be the first ones to get it. Just like that 90-year-old lady over in Europe. They're going to be the first one to get it. All right, let's get another article real quick. And this is from Johns Hopkins. Johns Hopkins University is one of the top leading medical research universities in the Americas. All right. And this is what they're saying. Could COVID-19 vaccines become mandatory in the U.S.? While there is legislative precedent for vaccine mandates, legal and public health expert Joanne Rosen says other strategies could help U.S. states achieve widespread vaccination for COVID-19. So Joanne Rosen, she's a representative of the Johns Hopkins University, that medical research facility. All right, we're going to read a little bit about this. Once a COVID-19 vaccine or vaccines are made available, could states mandate that people get them? The short answer is yes. So right here, they're already admitting that states can mandate that everyone get vaccinated. States have the legal and constitutional authority to require that the people who live in that state be vaccinated, or to introduce a vaccine mandate. So yes, they are authorized to mandate a vaccine, make it mandatory. The authority for that state being able to compel vaccination, the affirmation of that authority goes all the way back to U.S. Supreme Court case in 1905 called Jacobson versus Massachusetts. That case arose in the midst of an outbreak of smallpox in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 1902. So back in 1902, they had a smallpox outbreak. They took it to court and they mandated that all people be vaccinated for smallpox. So we already see that this is nothing new. They've done it before, and they've done it recently within the last couple years, and they're going to do it again. All right, a little bit more. The goal of a vaccination campaign is to have as many people as possible vaccinated. The exemptions that you spoke about would keep a number of people from becoming vaccinated. This was an issue with measles in recent years. There were too many exemptions, and that's what caused outbreaks. Is that something we might be up against with COVID-19? Yes, absolutely. So they're saying with these exemptions that a lot of us have, the medical or medical, whether it be medical, whether it be religious or be personal belief exemptions, it's going to pose a problem. The measles outbreak in New York was about a year or two ago, and in California. It was traced to Disney World in 2014 or 2015, so they had the measles outbreak. Some of us might remember that was about 5 years ago. The reasons for these outbreaks were religious exemptions in New York and personal belief exemptions in California. So they're blaming these exemptions for the actual outbreak, right? The legislators of California and New York revoked non-medical exemptions as a result so that they could ensure higher rates of people immunized against measles. So what did they do to combat that? They revoked those exemptions, right? So we already know whatever happens on either coast, whether it be California or New York, whatever passes in those two coasts is eventually going to trickle down to the rest of the states nationwide, all right? And guess what? The rate of measles immunizations did go up when those exemptions were removed. So they're planning on making this thing mandatory. They're going to make it to where you can't get exempt from it to push out this vaccine. All right. Now, this is from Johns Hopkins University. Now, we're going to read a little bit about the Johns Hopkins University and their plan. All right. Now, this, as you can see, is from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. And big up the priest Daniela of the Lions of Israel for bringing out this PDF. All right. Now, we read about this in the last article about they already had a plan for several months. Well, as you can see, this is dated July 2020. So this has been out for several months already. All right. And it's called The Public's Role in COVID-19 Vaccination. All right. Now, it's a 47-page document, but we're not going to read all 47 pages. We're just going to hit a few key points. All right. Recommendation number 3, make vaccination available in safe, familiar, and convenient places. We're going to jump down. Local and state public health agencies should explore collaborations with interagency and non-government partners to use non-traditional sites, i.e. places of worship or senior citizens. Now, they already said essential personnel and elderly at retirement homes are going to be the first people to get it. What did that just say? It said senior citizens or senior centers, right? So they're going to use retirement homes. They're going to use churches. They're going to use, they already use a CVS and Walgreens. They're going to even use your job. Your job is going to become a vaccine site. You see what I mean? So they already knew that this was going down. All right. And vaccine sites, and explore opportunities to bundle COVID-19 vaccinations with other safety net services. What is a safety net service? Those are your social service programs, your Medicaid, your food stamps, your Section 8. You see what I mean? All of these programs are social service programs. And what are they going to do? They're going to bundle that. Meaning, if you want to continue to get food stamps, you got to take this vaccine. You want to get Medicaid, you got to take this vaccine. You see what I mean? You want to keep living free off Section 8, you got to get this vaccine. That's what they're going to do. So that's going to put a lot of our people in a bind because a lot of our people use these services. You see what I mean? So it's going to force you into getting this vaccine. Recommendation number 4, communicate in meaningful, relevant, and personal terms, crowding out misinformation. I'm going to jump down to the last paragraph. Trusted community spokespersons should be engaged in communication efforts to amplify vaccine affirming, personally relevant messages. So what are they going to do? They're going to use your rappers. They're going to use your actors. They're going to use your pastor. They're going to use your friends, family. They're going to use whoever they need to get you to trust them to take this vaccine. They haven't tested it. They don't know what the long-term or short-term effects will be. But they're going to push this thing out for emergency use. And they're going to use your own people, your own leaders, your own spokesmen. They're going to use these people to talk you into getting it. Because we already know that, you know, blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans, they're already hesitant to take anything from Esau. because we know how Esau gets down. You know what I mean? We had the Native Americans damn near died off from the smallpox. We had the Tuskegee experiment. You know what I mean? We're reluctant to take anything concerning Esau, and they know this. So what they're going to do, they're going to use our own against us. Next week, you might see LeBron James talking about, yeah, get the shot. You know what I mean? You might see Future talking about, yeah, I just got that shot. You know what I mean? Trying to talk you into it. Your pastor definitely going to tell you to take the shot. You see what I mean? That's what they're going to do to get our people to go along with this thing. And it's been done. We had Puff Daddy talking about vote or die. Niggas went out and voted. Now we got Obama, beloved by the blacks and Hispanic community, beloved. We got Obama. You got former President Bush. You got Bill Clinton talking about they're going to take it publicly. They're going to be the first in America to take it. You see what I mean? We don't know what kind of shots they're getting. They might be getting placebo. You know what I mean? Shot up with some water, saline solution. We don't know. You know what I mean? But it's all a ploy to get you to take that shot, right? So this is from the Johns Hopkins University. This is a legit document from that school we just read about, talking about could they mandate this thing? Yes, they can, and they will. All right, let's get a few scriptures real quick. All right, we're gonna go to Isaiah. We're gonna go to 62. Right, we're gonna start at verse 6, and it reads, "I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night." No, we're not going to hold our peace day or night. And as watchmen, we're supposed to not hold our peace day nor night, right? Ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silent. So we're not supposed to keep silence about this thing. When we get information, we're supposed to pass that down to the people, right? We're warning you. That way, you know what I mean? You can't say, I didn't know, or nobody told me. So when you get caught up with this thing, hey, I didn't know about it. That's not an excuse. Matter of fact, let's get that in Ezekiel. We're going to go to Ezekiel 33. And we're going to start at verse 3. And it reads, "If when he seeth the sword come upon the land, and he blow the trumpet and warn the people," so we seeing this thing happening and unfolding before our eyes, right? "And if we warn you," verse 4, "then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet," whosoever hearing this word, whosoever hearing this warning about the vaccines, "and taketh not warning," and you don't listen, you don't take heed, "if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head." So you listening to us on these corners telling you to look out for your enemies, watch out for your oppressors, they're trying to do this, they're trying to do that, and you just pass on by. When this thing comes, get kicked off and comes down on you, you know what I mean? You can't go crying to nobody saying you didn't know or you didn't hear this thing. You know what I mean? Verse 5, "When he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood should be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul." So if you listen to us while we're on the corners, you watching our videos warning you about what Esau's plan is and how they're going to kick this thing off, then you might be spared out of this thing. You know what I mean? Verse 6, "But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned," so we're seeing these things take effect. We're seeing these prophecies unfold, but if we don't say nothing, "if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at the watchman's hand." So if we're seeing this thing, we know what they're planning. We know what they're trying to do, and we're not letting our people know, then your blood is on our hands. And we're not trying to have that. So as watchmen, we're coming to our people in truth and sincerity and warning our people that this thing is getting real. The vaccine is here in Georgia. It's going down. They're going to start shipping it out next week, and they're going to make it mandatory. You see what I mean? So you can't say that you didn't know. All right. Let's get another one. Let's go to 2 Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, verse 11. "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." We already know what he's planning to do. We know what's going down. You know what I mean? We know that he's trying to, be the top nation on the earth and keep us at the bottom. if not exterminate us. If it wasn't up to him, if it was up to him, there would be no blacks, Hispanic. There would be no nation of Israel if it was up to him. You see what I mean? So we know how he's trying to do it. He's trying to, like I said, use these services that we're dependent on. You know what I mean? He's trying to use people that we trust to get the shot out. You know what I mean? We're not ignorant of that. And that's why, as watchmen, these camps are out warning our people. Whether you listen or not is on you. You know what I mean? But we're not ignorant of what's going on. We see what's happening. Let's get another one, another classic. We're going to go to Psalms 83. That's a classic. You know what I mean? Psalms 83. We're going to start at verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. Who's our enemy? We already know. Esau's the so-called white man. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. So, you know what I mean? They already look down upon us. They're already above us. They already lifted up. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. How are they taking crafty counsel? Using our people against us. They trying to infiltrate us from the inside, our organizations. Now they're trying to get our leaders to promote their agenda, to push this vaccine off on us, to make us feel comfortable and drop our guard because it's coming from somebody that looks like us and that can halfway relate to us. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They're consulting against us. This is their crafty counsel by using our our leaders, you know what I mean, our entertainers, you know what I mean, all our own people against us. This is that crafty counsel so that they can administer their vaccine against us, man, because they know we're not going to take it. You know what I mean? They know a lot of us is not going to take it. So they have to force this thing, right? Let's get another one. Let's go to Revelation, one of my favorite books. Revelation, we're going to go to the 12th chapter. Read verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Rejoice, those heavens, rejoice, the ones that's in power right now. And dwell in them, relax, chill. You know what I mean? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you. The white man is here, and he's speeding this thing up. That's why they're getting emergency use. They ain't tested it. They don't know what's in it, or, you know what I mean, the effects of what's in it. They don't know, and they don't care. You know what I mean? He's come down unto us, having great wrath. You know what I mean? Because he knoweth that he have but a short time. That's why it's an emergency use. It takes about 5, at the minimum 5 years to approve a vaccine. The maximum was 20 for an effective vaccine. The white man knows this. He ain't got 20 years, maybe. Most High will. He don't have 20 years in the spirit. You know what I mean? So he know he got to get this ball rolling. You know what I mean? Let's get one more. Let's go to Revelation 13. We're going to start at verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. Esau is going to make war with the Israelites, and he's going to overcome us. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And power was given unto him. You see what I mean? He has the power to force these vaccines. You know what I mean? And he's going to do it. All right. One more. Jump down to verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, I'm not saying that, this vaccine is emphatically the mark of the beast. But it's looking kind of markish, though, because he's going to force everybody to take it. But I'm not saying that this is emphatically the mark, but it's looking real markish. You see what I mean? It has the qualifications. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Now, I'm not saying, again, that this is the mark, but I know right now you got certain establishments wanting to open back up. Like your concerts, your venues, things of that nature. And what they plan to do is when you purchase a ticket to go see a football game or basketball game or even a concert, they're going to require that you have your test results of COVID-19 on that receipt. And if you don't have that receipt, whether you bought it or not, you know what I mean? However you got it, you're not going to be able to get into that establishment. You see what I mean? Or that vaccine receipt. You see what I mean? You're not going to be able to get in. And then pretty soon, that's going to trickle down everywhere. You ain't going to be able to take a flight from, Atlanta to Columbus without showing proof that you've been vaccinated. You're not going to be able to go into Walmart. You're not going to be able to go to Kroger, you know what I mean, without showing proof that you've been vaccinated. Now, again, I'm not saying that this is the mark, but I'm just saying it's looking kind of markish. All right. So that was just a quick impromptu on what's going on today locally here in Georgia. So, with that, I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto the Most High God, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ. Again, it's your brother Yaikwab, HOIGA, and Shalom.